Hi guys, thanks for tuning on back in. I'm ImperialJedi, and this is episode number 4 of our series, and we got quite an ambitious one planned for us today. I got a few things I want to do. For starters, I do want to get our population a little bit higher. We're really close to unlocking our incinerators as well as an additional map tile, and I kind of have something kind of fun in mind with the highways. Like I said, it's a little bit ambitious, so for those of you playing along, don't necessarily feel like you really have to do something like this in your own cities. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of planning for the future, and I just want to show you guys just something kind of fun and cool. But in a nutshell, when it comes to our highway system right now, to serve this industrial area, we unfortunately are just really relying only on this interchange. And, you know, if you're a truck or whatever, you have to come down here, exit, go all the way back up here, make your loop type thing, go all the way back down and, you know, back on, right? And you do cut kind of close to our residential zone, so as truck traffic does increase, I'm sure people here won't be, you know, too happy, right? So what we want is some more just highway on-off options, in a nutshell. And just really randomly, not randomly, but just a little asterisk to kind of everything. I had a question, actually a few questions come in about like bike lanes and like pedestrian pathways and, you know, like that kind of stuff, like when to use them, where to use them. So let me just show you that super quick, and then we'll just kind of hop over to our highway construction. But in a nutshell, when it comes to bike lanes, what I'd really like to have in my city when everything's kind of all said and done is maybe, oh boy, our poor landfill is just filled up. Let me just drop this really quickly, guys. So I'm going to just drop down 2, because I think we're starting to get some garbage issues anyway. And, you know, it's temporary because we're about to unlock our incinerators, so don't really mind that. I'll put on 3 speed just to kind of get this going too. But yeah, so when it's all said and done, what I'd really like to have in the city is just one long, kind of uninterrupted, just a corridor of bike lanes. And, you know, the bike lanes themselves, they come with one of the DLC updates. It's either the After Dark or the Snowfall. I totally don't remember. I'm so sorry for that, guys. And, you know, the DLCs themselves, they do go on sale often. So, I mean, I have a lot of questions kind of just come in general about those. Is it worth getting them? Like, you know, are you missing much? And, like, I personally find that they do add a lot of fun to the game. You do get some more options for, like, roads and everything and, you know, some new custom buildings. And, you know, I mean, they go on sale super often, right? So just put them on your wish list, and then, you know, one day you'll wake up with a message in your inbox in Steam saying your game's on sale. And you're like, cool. Okay, so bike lanes, let's put a few of these in. What I'm using right here is an avenue with the bike lanes built into them, which is awesome. Pretty good for, you know, getting people moved around. All we're doing is we're displacing the parking spots, so you can't park on this road anymore, which is, you know, not really the end of the world. Make people park elsewhere type thing. When it comes to the roundabouts, though, we don't have any one-way roads that have a bike lane in them. Instead, what we're going to have to do is run a bike lane right alongside. So what I'll do is I'll turn off the little snappers, and I'll curvy my road, and I'll just kind of get as close as I possibly can to the roundabout. And then that way, there's like no grass or like dirt or anything, so it looks kind of clean, like it's fresh paved throughout. And then just anyone on a bicycle just can kind of continue, just crosswalk options, so they can just, you know, move on to the other side. And then what's really fun that you can also do is just in general, next to my highways, I'll probably leave just like a little bit of space open, kind of like a corridor. And then, you know, that way when the city really grows, we can upgrade this to have, say, like a collector lane, or we can bring in, you know, like a train track, or we can have like a park system, or we can do what I'm doing right now, which is just basically an extension to the bike lanes. And so here, just kind of running alongside that road, we can have a dedicated bike lane that can kind of bridge and go over the highway. You can, like, you know, brake and go down the center of the highway, elevated. This can be elevated. Like, the options are just like, you know, they're non-stop, right? But like, say over here, right, we wanted to connect back to our little bike lane network, for example. So here connects right there, right, which is all bike lanes. And then over here, what we can do is just wherever the crosswalk is, you know, have that kind of come in. Actually, I'm going a bit of a different angle. Have that kind of curved like that, so it's faster flow through. It's a little bit steep right there, but I think we'll keep it. And again, same idea, just, you know, a few of these, and that gets people actually using this. And then your Sims, they will, you know, bicycle on regular streets and use regular sidewalks and stuff, and then the regular pedestrian pathways. It's just a bike lane. It's, you know, exactly what it sounds like it's for. It's just for biking. You can build these, like, you know, bike autobahns, super highways. Look really cool. you know, bicycle roundabouts and the whole works. Let's connect that into here. There we go. That's kind of fun, right? And again, you don't have to make this, you know, as big as I am here. You can make these just like a little regular straight connection. I'm just doing this oversized for the pure fun of it, but I just, yeah, I feel like a lot of people, when they're new to this game, they have this like urge to make things very compact, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, really, you have so much more space than you think to work with, so don't even worry about stretching your legs out type of thing. There we go. And if you want, just to encourage even more biking, you know, just have this road run alongside, kind of support even more. There we go, right? So we'll probably talk, you know, a little bit more about this as the city grows, and we'll make sure we kind of incorporate bike lanes in, you know, into our just future builds. But just to kind of give you an idea, it's just kind of nice. You know, imagine you're a biker yourself, right? You just want to have like basically the the option to kind of go one way from one end of the city to the other without having to worry about not being in a bike lane. So just, you know, keep things safe and whatnot. Okay. Just one more set of lanes here, and that's probably it. Otherwise we'll get too carried away. Great. Perfect. And then when it comes to pedestrian pathways, and see how this just kind of ends, like that in my mind is a little bit inefficient, so why don't we just go a little bit further. But yeah, so the same thing can be achieved with pedestrian pathways, and like I always get asked like, when would you use them, like that kind of stuff. And for me, like the best way to answer that is like I would use them as kind of like a shortcut, or use them to kind of fill an area in like this. So you can connect them to, you know, a park, which kind of ensures that people actually use the park. And you can see right here, the more, you know, entrances we have, the more likely people are to kind of use this. And who doesn't like a park, right? Anyway, so over here, for example, let's say you lived down here and you wanted to get to the botanical gardens, right? Like you'd have to walk over to this road, take this road all the way up here, just go across and then back down. So I'm sure there's a faster way if we were to kind of put in some pathways just in between, right? So what we can do is just have ground level connection, just go from like there to here, right? The only issue is our Sims, they won't cross the street here because there's no crossing. So what we can do is help them out by putting one of these in. So I mean, a little, you know, a little oversized and crazy, but for me, that's sometimes kind of the fun. There we go. And we can do the same thing over here. There we go. And you don't actually need the pathways to connect, they just need to kind of get close enough, and then they'll kind of share. Perfect. Excellent. So now people are actually going to use this, which is kind of neat, I think. So again, you know, if you find that it looks a little bit too tall or intrusive, like don't even worry about it, don't do that type thing, but just, you know, there are options type thing available. And if you wanted to, just to get away from having to do the taller bridging points, you can have roads like this, they just maybe don't go anywhere, maybe it can be a dead end if you want, or you can have it go the whole way through. And that gets rid of the need to have to do these if you find that that's maybe like a little bit intrusive. So let's redraw that, right? And then get our zoning squares back. But if you wanted to, just again, for more, you know, more walkability, more connectability through your town. That's kind of what pedestrian pathways are for. There you go, right? So faster way to the botanical gardens and beyond. There we go. So simplified, unsimplified versions, whatever you guys want type thing. But I think I'll just do this just for the simplicity of uploading to the workshop, not having it be a little bit too messy. Make that little tree line path too. There we go. Okay, so let's move over to our highway interchanges now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this road, I think, a little bit further down. And we'll use a few different types of interchanges so I can kind of show you guys some options. And you can kind of use, you know, like whatever you feel works best in your situation. I think what I'm going for is I'm going to try and sneak in a partial cloverleaf interchange over here. And like I was saying in the first episode, I'm in North America, and a pretty common interchange for us to get on and off the highway. Excellent. We've unlocked Metro and a whole bunch of other stuff, like tons of stuff, your high density and everything. So we'll slowly work all of that into the city. It's just for the moment, we're going to kind of take baby steps towards that. But the first thing we're going to do for sure, actually, is put down our incinerators. And so I did buy another power plant just to off camera to make things a little bit faster. I'm now going to empty all of these into the incinerators. We might, in the short run into some garbage problems, but you know, it'll be really worth it in the end. And holy heck, look at all this traffic. I know we have a partial bike lane going through here, but what I'm actually going to do instead is upgrade this corridor to become a 6-lane road, just until we get back to the highway. And then for, I think over here, we could probably now benefit from having the extra lanes. And I just severed our power connection. That's, you know, that's probably a bad thing. Might as well make that look sort of nice. Okay, great. And let's just fix our new zoning over here. Great. Okay, perfect. That should help traffic just a little bit. And oh gosh, do we have any fire services up here? We do. Okay, great. And we're okay, I think, to a certain extent in our new zones down here for services. But you know what? I do want to zone just a little bit. That was kind of my goal when we were starting the episode, but we hit our population milestone anyway, so no worries. I'm just trying to incorporate a few other types of roads into the city, but trying to blend them in so it looks kind of more natural. We haven't used that style of road yet. Let's make that into a shopping block. Great. Excellent. Okay, so back over to here. Let's continue with our highway construction. So probably just, yeah, like that. And the goal of a partial cloverleaf is to just kind of cut back on how many cars have to turn in front of each other. And you'll kind of see what I mean. It'll kind of make sense when I have this kind of set up. And the best part about a partial cloverleaf is the size of them. You know, you can kind of make them really compact. You can make them like astronomically huge type thing. So they're good really to work with like any space. Let's just turn down the speed a little bit here. So what we basically need in this part here can be like a single lane on each side, or it can be the double lane. Actually, I'm gonna make that a little bit farther back. We're gonna have it part of the bridge. I'm just going for smoothness. That's kind of my goal here. Okay, that's a good angle. And you'll see what I'm up to. Okay, great. So what I want is, if you're, say, going over the bridge, and you want to get onto the highway to go this way, say like where that green truck is, to go that direction, what you'll do is you'll turn right onto this road. You'll then go onto this little road right here. This will sneak underneath here. Follow along. And just go right back onto the highway. Cool, right? And what I want now is to have to avoid cars turning left to go onto the highway, because that slows everybody down that wants to go straights and this and that, right? So to stop cars from using this part of the highway to go on and off, we're going to have our option for them down here. So as you approach the bridge, you swing over to here and that's your way on. So you don't go up here and you don't turn left. Fingers crossed, hopefully, trucks coming this way or cars coming this way don't continue to go straight and then turn left. I hope they take this direction. In City Skylines, though, your traffic will always take the shortest route. So what you could sometimes do is slow the speed limit down here, and then that'll make this area a little bit more enticing for cars that are kind of approaching. Either way, as long as you get to highway speed by the time we make it to the highway, everything is a-okay. And then the way to get off the highway, sorry, before I move to the other side, is you would just say come from here and just go like that. And just to get a little bit more concrete out of that interchange, there we go, or intersection. And the reason why I'm using the double lane here is just it gives a little bit more room for traffic to kind of queue. I don't want the backup to kind of hit the highway. And then this you can decorate, you know, with like rocks and trees and just whatever you want. You can make them really uniform. You can make it kind of messy. You can make this feel like we're just deep into the forest, but that's kind of the gist of it. So let's do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll hopefully watch traffic behave properly. Hopefully is the key word here. Okay, so I'm just going to pause just super quickly. I want these transitions to look a little bit nicer. And of course, this game's got to be, it's got to be a wise guy, huh? Okay, I might not be able to do what I thought I was going to do. Oh, that's better. Okay, I think it's actually doable now. Yep, that's a lot cleaner looking. Great. And that's not too steep. Okay. So essentially the same thing, but just now the other side. And I think after all that, this road is probably a little bit too close. And then bonus points, just, you know, for symmetry, if you can get these roads to be kind of coming and going from the same more or less spot. So change that direction. Great. And you know what, just because it's still raining, let me turn the speed on just so we can kind of get rid of some of the water here. And I guess I do have to go on a bit more of an angle, but at least we know that hope is not lost right there. Okay, great. Oops. Actually, I think I'm going to go just a little bit straighter. That might be a little bit too much. Nope, perfect. Okay. A little bit of a sharp turn, but I think that's okay. And then to get off the highway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause again. And the reason why I pause so often while I'm doing this kind of construction is I just don't want my, you know, all my poor computer to like get bogged down by having to recalculate a bazillion and one pathways. Because imagine all the cars we're disrupting while we're just doing this, right? So instead of having to have my computer continuously replan, I'll just have it do it all at once type thing. Okay, so now we just need the way on from this side. Great. I'm going to pause, and I'm just going to make that a smoother transition. Perfect. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so the goal, let's see if everyone's doing the right thing here, is we don't want to see any cars turning left that way, and we don't want to see any cars, oh, that's perfect, beautiful. No, we don't want to see cars turning left to go on that way. I want them to go right. Excellent. Okay, that's working. Good, 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 good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm not going to worry about decorating it just in terms of, you know, the sake of time here. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to buy us this tile. And what I'm going to do is a quick little diamond interchange just in another spot right here. Just so you guys can kind of see the difference. And just for the sake of traffic flow through here, I'm going to upgrade that to a 6-lane road. And why don't we just go over here. Now, in a perfect world, I don't want to be too close to the clover leaf. So why don't we try for something nice over here. There we go. Of course. Oh, I don't know if I'm tall enough. Maybe that's the issue. No, that's our pillars. Okay, didn't quite get that angle just right, but that's alright. Perfect. Okay, so just a very simple diamond interchange is exactly how it sounds type thing. Just kind of makes like a diamond shape, so what we're doing is basically one of these, one of those, something like this. And the reason why we're a little bit further away from this interchange here is, you know, you just don't want too much merging traffic to kind of get in the way of each other, right? Because just like in real life, you know, imagine you're in this lane, well, you probably shouldn't be at that point, but you want to get over and exit, you have a lot of incoming cars, right? So you got to kind of compete. So, I mean, that's fine by me, but this just isn't the most efficient design by nature because you have a lot of traffic that's going to be waiting to turn left, and they're going to have to be, you know, they're going to be slowed down by anyone wanting to go straight. So I tend not to do these in general. What I think we're going to do over here is another one of those partial clover leaves. So I just wanted to show you this just to see, you know, you guys can see what it looks like. And those work great in like rural kind of areas or very small, you know, parts of town that don't have, you don't have to worry too much about traffic. Let me just make things a little bit nicer. And if you want to, you can make them perfectly uniform. It's a little bit trickier, but it's like it's not impossible. And you know, once you honestly make enough of these, you can just kind of make them blindfolded. And you'll just kind of feel when they're not the right shape or size. And then to get rid of traffic lights, you could have roundabouts as your connection points. Or we could make like another, you know, something like this again, kind of like a dumbbell style interchange. Because I mean, really, you just want fast outflow because you don't want your backup to hit the highway, because that's, I mean, that's basically game over, more or less. In you know, in so many words, right? And I'm just a personal, like, for me, I like to have my curves just nice and smooth, which is why we just kind of did that transition. And then that'll look nice having that one kind of come in. And of course, you can decorate these however you want, like that kind of thing. There we go. And darn it, a little bit of an issue there with our overlap. How about now? That's better. Okay. Perfect. Oh, I love it. All right, well, I think we're going to end things off here, guys. Kind of running a little bit out of time, but in the next episode, what I want to do is, like I was saying kind of in the beginning, I had some ideas here for the highway network. What we could do is delete this now that we have more room and access, and we can put in kind of like a collector lane system that goes through here, and we can have some more on-off connections to the highway. Just maybe show you guys some more things. And just, in terms of the garbage, I'm not too stressed about all of these guys right here. I'm probably going to put one more incinerator down, maybe a little bit closer to the highway over here, just so it gets some use. But I think we're okay. The main thing is we just got to wait for, oh gosh, fires. We just have to wait for these things to empty. And then once they empty, we can get rid of them, because a lot of the traffic is just, it's garbage trucks that are just going right into here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next episode. We're probably going to do a little bit more building up here, work on some more specialized industries, get the population a little bit higher. And like I said, some work on the highways. And I want to start bringing in a bit of a rail connection. And maybe we can start work on some of our cargo assets, like a little cargo hub or something. All right, friends. I will see you in the next one. Keep the comments coming. Let me know what you think of our new highway interchanges. I think they're pretty nifty. Definitely did the job for traffic. This little corridor right here, beautiful. Love it. You can see this, possibly could become a problem. I think efficiency-wise, make this a one-way, just big loop. That'll kind of solve our problems. But we can always work on this a little bit later. And you guys can change it up, because I'll upload this again to the workshop. All right, guys, all the best. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again. Have a great day.